Hello there, and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijananguma, to a second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV this Tuesday, the 29th day of October 2024. We are coming to you live online and on air from a broadcast house here on Nile Avenue. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has made an additional statement on the ongoing debate on the rationalization of government agencies in a 7-page document. In his 7-page document, President Museveni reminded Ugandans that a rationalization means doing away with the irrationalities and only doing things that are rational and wastage eradication. He also explained that in order to make a meaningful rationalization, we need to be mindful of the difference between the narrow colonial and neo-colonial enclave economy of Uganda that centered on the 3 C's and 3 T's, that is coffee, cotton, copper, tea, tobacco and tourism. According to the president, the broad-based, vertically and horizontally integrated economy of Uganda under the NRM that aims at covering the whole spectrum of Uganda's huge potential. In regard to agriculture, President Museveni said that the broad-spectrum NRM-led economy will not confine itself to coffee, cotton, tea and tobacco. He revealed that the NRM is already promoting cash agricultural products such as coffee, tea, cotton, tobacco, bananas, maize, fruits, cocoa, cassava, Irish potatoes, sorghum, sweet potatoes, and oil seeds, sunflower, among others. President Museveni also said the country is already producing all the different skills which has enabled the country to weather the storm of the economic collapse in the world caused by the corona pandemic and the war in the Ukraine. Now, the commander of the Special Forces Command, Major General David Mugisha, has commended President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, also Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda Armed Forces, that is the Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, for transforming the army into a capable, efficient and a disciplined force that ensures national unity and security and promotes peace and stability across the region. Major General Mugisha made the remarks during the retirement ceremony of 31 SFC officers at SFC headquarters in Entebbe. The retirees included warrant officers Class 1, warrant officers Class 2, staff sergeants, sergeants, corporals and privates. He also lauded the president for introducing a comprehensive retirement system for the gallant generals, senior and junior officers, describing it as a significant milestone in acknowledging their dedicated services. He further thanked the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, for being instrumental in shaping the strategic direction and operational effectiveness of the UPDF. Additionally, he requested the retirees to live within their means and also continue cementing their strategic relationship with the Army. The Director, Human Resource Management, SFC, Colonel Mango Baraza, said retirement or discharge is one of the personnel management functions through proper administration, career management and a decent exit. The ceremony was also attended by brigade commanders, directors, senior and junior officers, among other invited guests. Now, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has reiterated that the rationalization of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority is an administrative way of rearranging how the agency will function within the government. He refuted allegations of tribalism. He was addressing the media on the highlights of the cabinet resolutions at Uganda Media Center here in Kampala. We have more in this story.
Last week, the Coffee Bill 2024 that is meant to merge Uganda Coffee Development Authority in the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries was brought before Parliament for debate. However, a number of members of Parliament have opposed the bill. They urge that this will affect the production, quality and market of coffee.
If they are merged, what will be the issue related to the roles they have been performing? How these roles will be affected? Therefore affecting the achievements.
About our lives. This is not about merging one organization and the other. We are saying this agency has the sole responsibility of regulation.
Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baliomos, has warned against politicking the nationalization of Uganda Coffee Development Authority.
It has nothing to do with the tribes or regions. In any case, coffee is grown in many parts of this country. We are just shifting it to be housed directly in the ministry. Even now it's under the ministry, but now it will just be a unit or a department within the Ministry of Agriculture, and it will continue carrying out the same functions as it does.
Government resolved on nationalization due to existence of a number of agencies that serve nearly the same purpose and to cut expenses.
Spending up to 755 billion Uganda shillings for the staff or civil servants who are in the ministries, whereas in the agencies we are paying 955 billion shillings. So we're spending more in terms of salary to the employees in agencies compared to those who are in the ministries and districts, local governments.
The minister also told journalists about government decision not to renew their contract with Umeme.
It was given in 2005. So next year it will be coming to 20 years of Umeme. And this concession should be ending on the 28th of February 2025. That we shall not be renewing this concession for Umeme, but we shall allow them 1 month of transition, which will end on the 31st of March next year, 2025. And then the distribution function of the electricity will get back into the hands of.
The week-long cabinet resolution meeting was presided over President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Matters related to taxation, budget funding and resource mobilization were discussed, concluded and adopted. Susan Nabo, good day. Joseph Muyingo for UBC News.
Thanks, Susan and Muyingo, for that story there. Now, the Buganda Parliamentary caucus has set a team of lawyers to scrutinize the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 before Parliament resumes business. The team of members of Parliament include Consul Yusuf Nsibambi, Medad Segona, Richard Lumu and Hanifa Nabukera, who will share to the caucus the final position to consider on the controversial bill. The Buganda caucus has also set up another team to assess President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's recent guidance on rationalization, especially coffee.
In his conclusion during the Monday dossier, President Yoweri Museveni says rationalizing the Uganda Coffee Development Authority will sweep what he described as parasite board, general manager and personal secretary. The president says the move will save the country from the comedy of several authorities milking from the consolidated fund. The letter shared through various social media platforms of the president was the third in less than a week, guiding on the rationalization of government agencies' agenda, especially coffee. Parliament, which is processing the proposed regulations, is divided into sections in support and against the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. Butambala County MP Mwanga Chivumbi is the chairperson Buganda Parliamentary caucus, leading to set up a team to assess the president's guidance.
So we've set up a committee that is going to answer him line by line on all his arguments, because they are easily impeachable, and we think we shall do the needful.
The MPs who have strongly distanced themselves from the agenda to transfer the functions of Uganda Coffee Development Authority into the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries have set up a team of legal minds from the opposition to scrutinize the coffee bill.
Headed by Honorable Yusuf Nsibambi, Honorable Rumu Nabukera and others, our legal group here in the caucus.
In the last plenary session, the bill succeeded on the second reading after division of lobby voting, which left tongues shaking, provoking tribal sentiments.
Therefore, this coffee bill, literally, because of our utterances, no longer meets the test and the standard of a bill, of a legislation that Parliament can enact. But no session will proceed without a clear explanation and an apology on this issue. No matter what happens wherever she works, no bishop, no what, you not even if you visit the Kabako of Buganda.
These MPs have set other conditions if the plenary is to resume and consider the bill.
And we must not be dragged or scared to back off what is just for our people and what is right for our people. Farming is the cornerstone of our country.
So what I want, or what we should do next, is one thing that at least even if it means fighting, we shall fight.
The National Coffee Amendment Bill is among the proposed legislations in the process of rationalization. Government wants a 3-year transition period to allow the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries to build capacity to handle the tasks of UCDA. Daniel Mugoya, Farida Namfuka, UBC News.
Buganda Kingdom has urged members of Parliament and the government to reconsider the ongoing efforts of merging its institutions into ministries that oversee them. Buganda says merging Uganda Coffee Development Authority will affect the quality of Uganda's coffee industry.
Kabaka's subjects from counties of Buddu, Busiro and Bugerere, mainly local coffee farmers, gathered at Buganda Kingdom headquarters at Bulange, Mengo. Addressing the gathering, Katikido of Buganda Charles Peter Maiga about the proposed coffee bill aimed at merging the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, Maiga states that the kingdom does not support it.
UCDA's role is to render advice regarding farming methods, minding the quality of the crop on the farm, and after harvest, to increase the quantity of the crop produced, to popularize the drinking of coffee, and to study and explore the byproducts that can be got from the coffee bean. So if one wants the coffee farmer to earn as much as possible from his or her coffee, one needs to retain UCDA.
All the eyes move this side.
Maiga questioned politicians who support the bill, emphasizing that coffee farmers do not support, urging them to take action because it will affect Uganda's coffee sector, thus advising parliamentarians to avoid discussing the bill basing on tribes, emphasizing that coffee is not for Buganda but for all of Uganda.
Ebintu byetategedde ebifaanana okubonereza abaganda gwate etteeka lyabadde ly'abaganda alyokayogere ku baganda yampeereza obubaka tuwuliziganya yabyegaanye mu bubaka bwe yampeereza wabula ababaka abava mu Buganda abava mu Bugisu abava mu Ankole n'awalala awalimu emmwanyi baagala UCDA esigalewo. Lwaki ebirowoozo by'ebitundu ebyo tebissibwamu kitiibwa?
Maiga urged the government to reconsider the proposal of merging UCDA and called for an increase in funding to support farmers.
And ensure that it is funded further to play those 5 roles at the moment. There has been a number of unsettling attempts by government concerning coffee. They started with the coffee bill of 2020, which had bad clauses like one stipulating imprisoning a farmer who abandons his or her farm. Then there was a plan to give a woman who knows nothing about coffee, she's called Penetti, monopoly over the coffee we have grown with our hands. And they were giving her power to determine the price to offer to farmers and the quantity that she desired. Coffee belongs to the farmers, so government should respect their wishes regarding this matter.
The Member of Parliament for Kalungu East, Francis Katabazi, expressed their commitment as parliamentarians to stand against the bill.
All members of Parliament who think UCDA should not be rationalized into the ministry. Actually, the clause is saying it should be abolished, clause 5, and it should be abolished and its roles transferred to the mother ministry, which is Ministry of Agriculture. Ministry of Agriculture has failed on all fronts according to Auditor General's report. On all fronts.
Some coffee farmers had their views on the proposed bill.
Katwebaza omubaka oyo katabaze ne banne abalwaniridde mwanyi okulaba nga tefa mu kukkoota amala gagitwala. Tujja kukola kyonna ekisoboka okutwala Buganda ku ntikko naye nga mu Buganda budduye eri ku ntikko.
In another development, over 50 million shillings has been raised from people of Wudu, Busiru and Bugerere towards supporting the kingdom developments through Luwalu Lwafe campaign. Justine Nakami and Andrew Sebira, BBC News.
And now news just in. President Yoweri Museveni has met and held discussions with a delegation of 17 French investors at State House in Entebbe. The delegation under MEDEF International and led by Ms. Céline Gouvet, president of the France East Africa Business Council, represents the largest foreign investor group in Uganda, with French companies contributing an impressive 53% of the country's foreign investment as of 2023. During the meeting, the president emphasized his commitment to strengthen Uganda's economic partnership with France. He highlighted Uganda's vast investment potential, emphasizing the country's rich raw materials and its pressing need for infrastructure to connect producers and consumers. He credited the National Resistance Movement, NRM government's pro-business approach for the significant growth of Uganda's private sector, which now plays a crucial role in the nation's economy. Reflecting on the importance of regional integration, President Museveni also acknowledged that initiatives like the East African Community and the African Continental Free Trade Area are expanding Uganda's market access, making it easier for local manufacturers to sell products. The president also emphasized the importance of irrigation for stabilizing agriculture, calling on companies interested in developing irrigation projects to contribute to Uganda's agricultural resilience. In her remarks, Ms. Gouvet expressed the commitment of French businesses to Uganda's sustainable future, citing the involvement of 40 French companies across diverse sectors. She noted that France's investment extends beyond energy and oil, encompassing sectors where French companies contribute specialized skills, technology and employment opportunities, all with a focus on sustainable growth and community benefit. MEDEF International, which leads this business delegation, is recognized as a driving force behind France's efforts to establish a robust, sustainable business model in Uganda. The company's initiatives align with France's vision of a resilient Uganda with the potential to unlock more employment and innovation opportunities for Uganda. Now, the Directorate of Public Health at Kampala Capital City Authority has reported a rapid rise in Mpox cases within its 5 divisions, with Kawempe taking the highest. The Acting Director for Public Health, Sarah Zalwango, told UBC that 89 cases have been confirmed in the Kampala area, with 10 cases reported in the last 24 hours. Residents are therefore urged to practice good hygiene, including frequent hand washing and avoiding contact with infected individuals.
Officials have reported a rapid increase in cases emanating from Kawempe Division, which has the highest number of confirmed Mpox cases. The Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, and the Ministry of Health want an immediate preventive measure.
Mpox outbreak, so far we have 89 confirmed cases as Kampala, though in the greater Kampala metropolitan area we have 127 cases. In the last 24 hours we confirmed 10 cases of Mpox, and they are across the division.
Residents are urged to practice good hygiene, frequent hand washing and avoid contact with infected individuals.
The highest division with a high number of Mpox cases confirmed is Kawempe division. So we are calling upon the community to be vigilant, to practice hygiene, good hygiene, wash your hands as frequently as possible, avoid contact with someone who has been confirmed to have the case. Let us know so that we come and do an investigation. We'll list the cases, and if there are any suspected cases, let us know so that we separate that person. We take the person to a treatment center.
The KCCA has established a toll-free helpline at 0800 299 000 to assist anyone or seeking advice. Symptoms of Mpox include fever, skin rash, and loss of appetite. Officials stress that early medical advice is essential, as some cases may develop severe complications among vulnerable groups like young children, pregnant mothers, and individuals with weak immune systems.
To get an alert of the case, we send the response teams to this particular patient. They do the assessment, they alert Ministry of Health, we transport them. If they are suspected, we line list these cases. It's a response team, and then we follow up the contacts until that time when we feel like now they are safe.
Meanwhile, KCCA is also tackling another challenge, waste management. The city has launched a new campaign to improve waste disposal.
We are increasing awareness among the residents of Kampala regarding those practices, and we are encouraging as much as possible so that we sort at source. And moving forward, when we've given enough information, we are going to only transport the waste that you cannot dispose of, but all the recyclables we are linking with the stakeholders to take such recyclables.
Residents are also urged to report unhygienic conditions like broken sewage pipes or illegal sewage dumping, especially after heavy rains.
There was an institution that was releasing sewage within the community. We went there, we confirmed, and we've arrested the culprits. So we call upon the community to collaborate with us, and we should take it as a responsibility.
The Directorate of Public Health at KCCA stresses maintaining personal hygiene and a clean environment to prevent disease. Justine Nakami, UBC News.
Now, members of Parliament sitting in the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources have visited Kilembe Mines to compare notes on why government terminated the contract of Tibet Mining Company. The Chinese firm was given the task to revamp Kilembe Mines, but in vain. The firm later petitioned Parliament, but the Minister of State for Finance in charge of privatization and investment, Evelyn Anite, recently said that the termination of the 25-year-old mining lease by the Chinese firm Tibet Hima was in accordance with the law.
The Parliamentary Committee on Environment and Natural Resources is investigating circumstances registered in a petition by the Chinese firm Tibet Hima Mining Company on the irregular termination of its contract. The MPs are in Kasese district, where Tibet Mining Company was tasked to revamp Kilembe Mines.
So after the termination of the concession, the Chinese went into court, and after court, they petitioned the Parliament to come up with a fact-finding mission to see that we capture some resolutions, because their investment was frustrated by the State Minister of Investment.
The Chinese firm, which was ordered to stop operations in 2017, claimed that they had invested more than enough, and the termination of the contract was a disservice.
As a matter of fact, according to what we see, something was done, and we are still walking through the mines.
The MP's physical tour of the said investments shall complement their report on the petition by Tibet.
We find that something was done in contravention with the provisions of the law that are cited in the concession agreement. The committee will recommend to the floor of Parliament, will recommend to Parliament in its report accordingly.
In the petition, Tibet Hima alleges that government stripped their assets and equipment, reduced the concession period from 25 to 15 years without clear explanation. The Minister of State for Finance in charge of privatization and investment, Evelyn Anite, while interacting with this committee recently, said government has no regrets in terminating Tibet's Hima contract after discovering how they were an assembling company. Minister Anita revealed how the company lacked capacity to handle the multi-billion project. The MPs want the matter to be given a special ear.
We are in the process of appreciating the issues being raised in that petition. At an appropriate time, we will also be able to give opportunity to Kilembe to be able to respond to some of the issues that the petitioner have raised and have presented to us, to justify if they are true or they are not true.
It is clearly stated that they acted within the law stipulated for it in the concession agreement.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Let's now take a short break and we'll be returning with a lot more.
Winning requires the stamina of a lion. But most importantly, it requires that you carry that water up the top of the hill. However, you must use a spoon. Take the water now. Go, run, climb up the hill. 72 spoons. Faster, go, go. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Ngalu, ngalu, ngalu. It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Welcome back, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, the Ministry of Education and Sports has finalized negotiations with the government of Algeria to harmonize academic qualifications awarded to Ugandan scholarship beneficiaries. State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, while flagging off a cohort of 97 beneficiaries to Algeria, revealed that the issue of academic equation has been a major challenge affecting professionals from Algeria. Take a watch.
For a while, government of Uganda has been awarding scholarships to competent Ugandans to have their post-secondary studies in Algeria. This has been with the challenge of qualification equating for those who completed their education in Algeria.
I thank the government of Algeria for their generosity by giving this today 97 awardees. We are flagging off. But also, for the second cohort, they have already indicated, they have already sent second cohort of 170 offers, which are being processed by the Minister of Education and Education.
The Minister of State for Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, while flagging off another cohort of beneficiaries, assured them of the memorandum of understanding between the two governments to harmonize academic qualifications.
And both the Ministries of Education in Uganda and Ministry of Education in Nigeria are working out a framework within which all these issues will be addressed. So far, I can say, at least at technical level, they have been meeting. And very soon, they will be submitting a report to the politicians to come up with an MOU, revised MOU.
The ministry has committed for transparency in relation to scholarship awarding and called upon youth to utilize such opportunities to gain education.
So as you go, manage yourself. You are independent now. Your parents will not be there to wake you up in the morning, to tell you to go and bathe. Request you as you go abroad, need to work, utilize all the opportunities, and let us have you coming back to transform our country.
These have narrated the process through which enabled them to the success.
Uganda, on behalf of students, I would like to pledge that we will fulfill the mission STEM programs of the Ministry of Education. STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. For me, it would be fall in the category of science and technology. That's it.
Many Ugandan and Algerian graduates, especially health professionals, have been tossed around on the Ugandan job market for having unmatching qualifications unfit to the Ugandan standard. The ministry has assured for solving the impediment. Abdul Nasir Lubwama and Rogers
having exhausted all the smiles, I think we are now good.
Now, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in collaboration with other stakeholders, have celebrated the International Day of Care and Support, which provided an opportunity for all stakeholders concerned to renew and enhance their commitment and take action to promote rights of caregivers in societies.
International organizations.
State Minister for Gender and Culture Affairs, Honorable Peace Regis Mutuzo, called for gender equality, social justice in homes regarding domestic work. Addressing the media during the celebration, the State Minister stated that women are overburdened with home duties and yet are not recognized by their husbands.
That were defined by culture, by traditions of burdening women with lots of responsibilities for the care work, which is even unpaid for. We are not saying that people should pay, but they should recognize, they should redistribute.
The minister believes in equal sharing of responsibilities in families, noticing that it reduces the burden from women.
You go to the hotels, go to these salons. Who does pedicure and manicure? Men. Was it in our tradition that men would just sit down and bury beside somebody's toes and begin cutting them? Was it that in our culture? It was never at all. So in these secondary schools, who does the cooking? Who makes the portion? Even in this hotel, if you went down in the hotel, you would find chefs, men with a very long, because there's an attachment.
She attributed to the traditional beliefs of men failing to be helpers of their wives in homes. The minister regarded the law of the 20% share that women inherit after the death of their spouses, and she calls for government's intervention on this matter. The senior lecturer of Makerere University, Dr. Peace Musimenta, emphasized collective support towards unpaid care workers, mostly those with disabilities.
The idea of giving women 20% out of what they made while they were working, because somebody has passed on, the husband has passed on, she's only getting 20%, and yet she found this man with nothing completely. They worked everything together, and the 80% is applying to the product they produced, yet those children have the capacity to go and make money and make their own living, should get out of our way. So even the laws that have really skewed to gender interests and subjugating women should get out of our way, and we should review the laws.
Robagumya Maureen, Mike Bakabulinde, UBC News.
Now, the establishment of a regional referral hospital in Kayunga district is providing hope for many patients affected by the sickle cell disease. Now, this facility offers compassionate care and innovative management strategies and serves as a critical support system for families with sickle cell disease.
The Ministry of Health has constructed a dedicated sickle cell unit at the hospital to offer a holistic approach in managing sickle cell disease. While officiating the groundbreaking ceremony, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Dr. Diana Twine emphasized the importance of comprehensive care.
So we need to bring back the curve. And this curve, as we take care of the already that have the disease, we need to advocate for premarital counseling and testing.
She insisted that couples go for blood tests before marriage to prevent the transmission of sickle cell traits.
If we look at our statistics right now, 80% of our children who are dying before 5, that statistics is appalling. To me, it is unacceptable. We all know how we get sickle cell, and we can prevent more children dying, more children getting sickle cell by making sure that when we are going to get married, we do not get two careers getting together, because automatic as the day comes out after the night, we'll have sickle cell children.
Kayunga Regional Referral Hospital has registered an increasing number of patients with approximately 15 new sickle cell cases reported daily. Dr. Sophie Nachito noted the importance of education in addressing the rising numbers and dispelling myths surrounding the condition.
So that our medical emergency unit, where we manage complications and stabilize our patients. From there, we send them to the pediatric ward, where our warriors up to 17 years are admitted, and those above 17 years are taken to the medical ward.
Mityana Municipality woman MP Joyce Bagala emphasized that a shift in mindset will save lives and in managing the chronic nature of sickle cell disease.
Sickle cell anemia, being a chronic disease, also causes other chronic illnesses like high blood pressure. Because of the stress of the sickness of the child, many parents have hypertension because of that stress. And it's very important for the caregivers to understand that, especially those who do counseling to the parents with sickle cell anemia.
To date, over 5,000 patients in the region have been identified and are receiving treatment of sickle cell disease. This initiative marks a significant step forward in improving the quality of life for those affected and their families. Charity Marion Imnat, UBC News.
The Sudanese community in Uganda has commended the Ugandan government for hosting over 40,000 Sudan refugees following the outbreak of conflicts in 2003. Now, this was during a conference to address challenges faced by post-conflict and how they overcome them. We have more in this story.
For the past 21 years, Sudan has had conflicts due to ethnic differences, economic disparities among other aspects, which left many people displaced and fleeing for safety in neighboring countries. Sudanese say such conflicts leave a huge gap to the country people, hence affecting their rights to life, education and land.
But since 2003, the number is increasing, and if you are checking the OPM records and UNHCR records, and in Kriadango and in different areas, many of the Sudanese people, they are from different parts of Sudan. They displaced and they flee to Uganda.
The other factor affecting land rights and environment is traditional gold mining activities by the Rapid Support Forces and some armed groups.
Collaborative efforts are needed by the Sudanese and other African countries to address post-conflict challenges.
In all these agreements, they have tried to put a solution for the land issues through establishing land commission. And unfortunately, none of these solutions have been really put on the ground.
From Uganda, and we need to just to get like our counterparts from Uganda and other countries. And we had the same discussion last week, 2 weeks or 3 weeks in Nairobi as well. And we are trying to advocate for the Sudan issue.
They commend the Ugandan government for hosting over 40,000 refugees.
The hospitality and the laws here in Uganda, it has helped the Sudanese people to start their business or to feel safer at least.
This was during a conference to generate solutions on post-conflict challenges in Sudan, especially in the Darfur.
Our existence here in Uganda and in East Africa and in East Africa in general, to know how Africans solve these problems.
That sparked the conflicts, and unfortunately, the central governments, which are supposed to solve this and take measurements to avoid these conflicts, generally or obviously seem to be sided, one party against the other.
It's nearly to a year since the current war broke out in Sudan, leaving thousands of people killed and millions displaced. Rebecca Natongo, Stephen Kayumba, UBC News.
Now, leaders of the Ghetto youth structure in Kampala and surrounding areas have announced a stand against those who criticize their organization over misinformation. They emphasize that their structure has brought significant progress in development. The leaders highlight that many members have benefited from self-development funds provided by President Museveni. Sudat Kaye reports.
Youth residing in the Ghetto, led by Chairman Kalyango Shafik and Richard Lubega, who oversee the markets alongside members of the Yellow Power movement, seemed disappointed over what they referred to as sabotage.
Waliwo ebigambo ebigenda maaso nga bagamba nti ghetto structures teriiwo tekola ki nga boogera ebigambo ebitali bituufu okulaba nti kati buli kimu kitambula bulungi. Emirembe egy'emabega waliwo baganda baffe abaali baddukanya ghetto naye tebyali mu layini nga kati gye bitambuliramu. Naye essaawa eno buli kimu kitambulira mu mitendera emituufu era baganda baffe nga bajja obunoman tuli nabo era be bamu ku bantu abatambuza obulungi ghetto betukulembera nabo. So tutuusa okutegeeza eggwanga wamu n'obukundi bwonna obuli eyo nti ffe tuli kimu, ghetto zitambula bulungi era teriiyo muntu atafunamu.
Ghetto leaders claim that some individuals have taken to social media to spread falsehoods.
Abaana aba ghetto baali bubi, abaana tebaali bulungi, naye essaawa eno bwe baba nga bakuŋŋaanyizibwa wamu nga bali mu ambuleera emu ate n'oyagala obasapaleetinga ekyo kiba kikyamu. Ate ng'abantu abakola ebyo beeyambisibwa abakulu abatuula waggulu eyo tubamanyi. Bange ebiseera ebisinga nzize njogera ku nsonga zino ez'aba minisita aba RCC abantu bwe bati abo abaagala okwonoona amannya g'abantu. Abantu abakola obulungi mu Kampala tebabaagala. Abantu abakola ebirungi abaddaabiriza abantu tebabaagala. Wabula baagala abantu abo abakola ebibi ate ne beeyambisa nnyo opposition ogiyingiza mu gavumenti yeefunemu abakola ebirungi aba gavumenti ne batafunamu.
Among the supporters were also young city dwellers who emphasize how the Ghetto Youth Initiative has helped many move away from negative lifestyles.
Tuli wano twagala okusikana omukulembeze w'eggwanga tumunnyonnyole maaso ku maaso bye twamunnyonnyole ekkolero byali bya lusuubo twagala abakulembeze bano addemu abasinkano tumubuulire ebizibu ki ebiri mu Kampala gwe mutima gw'eggwanga era y'ensonga lwaki olaba buli wa byabufuzi yenna alwanira wano Kampala.
They describe themselves as transformed individuals.
Embeera eriwo wawo abantu abamu zebira kubaka obuliwo abakozesa amannya gaffe okututeeka mu ntalo ze tutaliimu. Ghetto structure yajja kubanga tewaaliwo kiriwo kyonna kyali kigatta mwana wa ghetto. Neteekebwawo bwe twafuna message okuva wa General Damulira nga President amuwadde directive ndi omu ku balondesa ghetto structures ezo era tosobola zaala mwana n'omulya. Wabula tusanyukira buli alina enteekateeka yonna ennungi ey'okubeera ng'agenda kwongera kuyamba mwana wa ghetto. Ffe tuba tufunyeemu buli we wajja omuntu yenna aliredde okuyambako munakampala oba munayuganda kasatuba nga ffenna tuteeba mu ggoolo emu yakulaba nga President Museveni ebintu byakoze tubiraga eggwanga ate twongera okwagazisa abantu abalala abalimu okubuzaabuzibwa.
They view the criticism as an attempt to pull them back into difficult times. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, Umkat School of Journalism has passed out girls that have been empowered with hands-on skills in electronic media, photography and videography. Under the theme, Empowered Through the Lens, the training targeted girls who dropped out of school with digital skills in videography. Umkat Principal Edwin Nyachwara implored the graduates to take advantage of the media landscape in Uganda.
But then the specific girls preferred to do photography and videography. And why is it so important? You know, today we are living in a world of technology, and the internet world, we are talking about e-economy. The e-economy requires you to have knowledge of digital communication now. Digital communication means you must use a picture, you must digitize the word, and digital communication has become a key thing.
We have sent them out to the public with the skills of truthfulness, telling the story through the lens, but more importantly, being faithful to the rule of law of our nation and guiding the public.
Given to them, because where a parent would say, let me promote the boy and leave the girl at home, IDI in combination with UMCAT said, let's give the girl opportunity.
Now, leaders in Napak district have decried long distances moved by expectant mothers to health facilities for increasing child mortality and maternal deaths. An expectant mother in Poron sub-county died last week while walking to the health center about 45 kilometers away. Now, while receiving an ambulance from the Ministry of Health to Bokora East constituency, leaders led by Napak woman Member of Parliament Faith Nakut, District Chairperson John Paul Codet said the initiative will save lives.
Napak district has a population of about 200,000 people in 14 administrative units. They have 19 health centers, one being for the army and maternity owned by the Catholic Church. There are only 5 government health centers, 3 and 12 health center 3s.
12 health center 2s that are distributed across the district to Center 4 or hospital that's government owned.
Sub-counties like Puron and Achukudu have no health facility.
The population in Achukudu sub-counties, if you are to move to the nearest health center within Napak, it is 45 kilometers to Iriri from Achukudu. This is the community that does not have easy access within the district. For them to access better services, probably they have to move 20 kilometers into Abim district.
Napak District Health Officer Timothy Teko says people in those areas buy medicines on the market day.
Integrated outreaches are planned periodically and whenever we have resources, because they are costly activities. That is the only opportunity that we have to reach places that don't have any form of health care services. When people come for market days, that's when they have an opportunity of getting some of the medicines.
Leaders narrate how locals trek over 40 kilometers to seek health services, which has increased maternal deaths and child mortality raising.
In 2 weeks, we lost children. We lost one child because of malaria, and they were not able to be to access either BIM or Kapelivion or Napak.
Mother was trying, and the caretaker was trying to cross the stream, the motorcycle. The mother could not, because you see she got submerged, she was already weak. Now they had to lift her across to where the ambulance was. By the time she reached the ambulance, she had overbled. So unfortunately we lost the mother.
If we have 2 health facilities in some big sub-counties, and then those 2 sub-counties of ours that don't have any health facility, that they also have
a need that government, through Ministry of Health, has given Bokora East constituency a Grade B ambulance. Leaders also say malaria is the leading killer in the district.
The government of Uganda for giving us this wonderful ambulance.
If it is well managed, I am quite certain that is going to rescue more lives, especially the mothers who are giving birth, and also those that do not have access to health services.
To make sure that the roadworthiness is maintained at all times, and that the parking will be at the designated parking point. Should there be any case of abuse where it is parked in a drinking joint, of course, rest assured the driver will be arrested and reprimanded severely.
Leaders also say malaria is the leading killer in the district.
To be a winner, it requires that you exceed all the limits of mankind and womankind. But when you play with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN and pay. Congratulations, easy! Your stomach is full and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Amazina ganje ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri njo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana *278# ngafuna message erikweka njo muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri yafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
In the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy, Wanawoli.
Comment about
It's every entrepreneur's, company's, organization's target to achieve and attain set goals and objectives to improve performance. However, according to a 2024 Outlook survey conducted on CEOs in East Africa by KPMG, there are several factors that keep chief executive officers in Africa away from meeting their targets and different from global CEOs.
We'll take like 3 questions in the interest of time, and then
These challenges leave African CEOs lagging behind their international counterparts. According to Peter Chambade, the partner tax and regulatory services at KPMG, organizations and CEOs from East Africa and Africa in general need to put emphasis on use of AI and modern technology for sustainable growth.
What is key and important and what was noted is reskilling the people who are there. There are changes in the kind of skills that are needed, especially to manage the technological disruptions and technological requirements of today. So a lot of emphasis is also being put to see how they can invest in the right talent and also upskill the talent they have.
The same finding conducted on CEOs globally from 1,300 responses, out of which 50 were from East Africa, stated that disruption of businesses in Africa is due to wars among other concerns.
So the people already have the knowledge. Now when you reskill them, then it enables them to actually give right directions to AI to produce the kind of results that you require for the business, for its growth and sustainability.
CEOs representing different companies and organizations reacted to the report.
So how do the organization go about preparing their employees to embrace AI and so that it's not a fear and kids are going and I can't easily use AI to do ABC? So
We also need to have a voice. At home somebody else had a voice, in society somebody else had a voice, in the church somebody else had a voice, in my university somebody else had a voice. So we don't know how to communicate. We didn't have the freedom to voice what is not right.
my question is, what has caused this? How can we curb this? Is it a gen what? Issue, or is that a bias? Why are we seeing this on the rise?
Mario Nawori and Ivan Juko for UBC.
The government has set a strategy to fully electrify all public means of transport by 2030 through the electric mobility strategy. So all ministries, departments and agencies will be required to take on their roles.
In the e-mobility strategy that has been developed by government, and already adopted, we have set a target of fully electrifying public transport by 2030. That means fully electrifying all borders, fully electrifying all buses that ply our routes, both up country and the inner city routes by 2030. That is the target. We have more than 80 e-mobility players that we have mobilized, and that's a number that's still ongoing, or that's still even growing. This ranges from people in the private sector, but also the relevant government MDAs. Each one has a role to play, be it Minister of Energy, be it Minister of Works and Transport, be it the local governments, be it the city authorities, be it Minister of Finance. So all of us have our hands on deck, and we have specific actions to take so that this target is achieved.
A Uganda where every household, school and business enjoys clean, affordable and reliable energy. Envision a future where energy savings allow families to invest in health and education, where forests flourish and where our nation is secure in terms of food as well as energy. This vision is centered on energy efficiency and aligns perfectly with our ambition in the energy sector as SME.
We also have in place the policy framework, which a number of you have touched, efficiency policy of 2023, and we also have the roadmap for Uganda from 2017. This framework has been able to put in place minimum energy performance standards for energy using appliances, promotion of the implementation of energy management systems, promotion of efficient lighting by giving out free LED bulbs, undertaking capacity building for energy efficiency professionals, development of guidelines for energy efficiency certification.
Minister of State for Agriculture, Brett Rwamirama, says government does not intend to abolish the functions implemented by agencies, but rather to save money to increase on extension workers to reach the core of their problem in rural communities. Take a watch.
It is now my singular honor, on behalf of Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, to launch the strategic plan Uganda Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services.
Asante sana.
I mean, we converge
judge in any selected venue, to have the extension actors come, over 200 physically, but also when we count those ones who are in the regions, who are outside of Uganda, serve 500 actors. In this week, we convene and discuss issues which concern us. We discuss issues which concern agriculture extension, and we want to come out with issues which and recommendations, especially policy recommendations, which we can push to our policy makers concerning agriculture extension.
We have to have really put more emphasis on business extension models, in other words, private sector involvement and non-state actors into extension, and integrate them in the national extension program more rigorously, for more resilience and rigor in the delivery of extension services to the farmers, which is very important. And most of them have been delivering it, but I think integrating them into the extension system is very important.
The world is constantly changing, and so needs agricultural extension clientele are changing too. Therefore, research needs to continuously update our knowledge of what works and why in the drivers of rural development and modernization. As the food and agriculture sector continues to rapidly evolve, extension and advisory services must also transform to meet new needs and challenges. This includes the expansion of high-value agricultural products, the growing role of the private sector, increasing the pluralistic system, natural resources constraints, and climate change, and the emergence of opportunities to use big data and digital approaches to improve extension service delivery and bring efficiency in the service delivery.
Thank you.
Let people see the minister.
Thank you, Honorable. We sincerely appreciate you.
Now, during the launch of the Wakiso Muslim District Youth Circle, Wakiso District Qadi Sheikh Arias Chigozi called for collaboration between government and religious leaders. He says there is need to combat crime among youth to support youth development and tackle unemployment in the area.
The ceremony coincided with Muslim Youth Day on the theme Redefining the Muslim Youth. The event attracted politicians, religious leaders and youth representatives, with State Minister for Defense and Veterans Affairs, Huda Oleru, who was represented by the Secretary for Women and Children at the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Sheila Zianamakula. Sheila Zianamakula commended Sheikh Chigozi's commitment to youth empowerment and supporting both boys and girls equally.
Nga bayimamu balwanira ebinaala, nga bayimamu balwanira ebituuti, nga tebibalwanya lwa irimu nnyingi wabula oli kasente. Bayimamu tusobodde bafunira emirimu, ne tubawa embuzi, ne tubawa ebyuma bya holding, ne tubawa ebyalaani. Olwaleero wenjogerera emizikiti gy'osanga egirimu okulwana beba batannaba kutegeera kye tubagamba.
Inclusiveness, twagala abantu okukola buli omu abeere ku kigaali. Kakati bwe tugamba abavubuka abalenzi, abantu balowooza nti bavubuka abalenzi bokka, naye tugamba abavubuka abalenzi n'abaki n'abawala. Era njagala n'abaana abatiitiibye ennyo girl child nange nkikola, naye ne boy child naye tukole ki tumutiitiibye.
Sheila also urged young Muslims to dispel stereotypes associating them with terrorism, reinforcing the community's commitment to fostering a safe and progressive environment.
Neyogera ku muvubuka muzadde gwe yatuuza n'amubuulira ebintu ebirungi, era n'agamba omuvubuka obulungi taboggolera bantu, tatambula nga abawusinga, tabeera nga agatta ku Allah n'ebintu ebirala bingi. Olw'obudde tesobodde bimalayo. Wabula era Qur'an yayogera ku bavubuka ababi.
The national youth leader of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Habib Mustafa, pledged support for the development of Wakiso youth.
The main objective of this event is to see how we can improve the life of these young people in Wakiso Muslim District. As the national chairman of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, I have boosted their circle with 1 million shillings to start up slowly as they are growing into a bigger bank.
The Wakiso youth leader Chigozi Hamidu shared insights into the challenges and achievements of Muslim youth in entrepreneurship and innovation.
Muslim district are unemployed, though some have their different skills in different aspects like bakery, welding, poultry, tailoring, among others, but they lack.
Now, Gombe District woman legislator Sylvia Nayebare has called for partnerships in addressing community problems. She wants women to stand out to their responsibility and restore family dignity through feeding and family economic empowerment. Nayebare was speaking during commemoration to mark 35 years of Ntulume Village Women Development Organization at Kabula Soke Koa PTC in Gombe District.
It was a time to celebrate and commemorate a milestone in the life of women and girl emancipation. Ntulume Village Women Development Association returned to the rural areas to set up and ensure that the rural woman and girl is supported to develop. 35 years of woman empowerment was celebrated in Gombe District.
But specifically we came to Gombe to empower the rural woman in Gombe District because we want the women to be empowered. They have enough food in their homes, they eat good meals for nutrition, and we also come to serve the women to have at least access to some resources.
So, it means the concern is about the family. Feed the family and raise an income for better livelihoods. VIOD has shifted the target to empower women and girls in rural areas and improve livelihoods. During celebrations to mark 35 years of Ntulume Village Women Development Association on empowering rural women and girls, there was an issue raised on gender-based violence on men in relationships.
Tusuubira nti mugenda kulwanyisa obwannakyeyombekedde buno obujjo obuzo bwakyeyitira tajja tufa nnyo ate tufa mangu naye chairman akyogeddeko bannange tubonyaabonyezebwa nnyo waka.
There are two key persons that stand out in the family, but poverty has delinked them over responsibility.
Have little education and you see something or you hear something like the word empowerment and then you take it like it's omwenkanankano, then you start misbehaving. That's what many of the girls are doing.
But in Ntulume Women Village Development Association wants the family empowered together and nurture responsible citizens.
That yes, there are rural women who have made it on their own through working with a women organization, VIOD.
So during celebrations to mark 35 years, Gombe women legislator Sylvia Nayebare joined the effort.
We were encouraging women to learn the saving culture. For a rural woman to save on the little they have made, it will put them so far.
The women have already moved on initiatives that enhance family incomes. They have also learned how to enrich the soil, food production, and value addition. Abuena Francisco, UBC.
And finally, Centenary Bank and Water.org have launched an innovative microfinance solution to address Uganda's water and sanitation challenges. The partnership will provide affordable loans, making water, sanitation and hygiene facilities accessible to more communities. Sandra Kahonde reports.
This collaboration introduces a microfinance loan product tailored to help individuals and communities access affordable water and hygiene solutions, an essential step toward improving public health and well-being.
For us at Centenary Bank, every partnership is valuable. There's no partnership as small. So every time we get an opportunity to partner, like we are going to partner with Water.org, we believe it is going to make us do better things for our customers. You talked about the grant, how it will help. The grant is helping to sharpen our skills. It is going to help us for training. It is going to help us to design good, need-responsive products.
The loan product will not only target households, but also small businesses and institutions, such as schools, hospitals, and local enterprises, ensuring a brand impact. In a bid to ensure the success of such programs, the government is also expected to play a critical role.
We leverage available resources and capacities to do more. For example, the Buganda Kingdom is helping us to reach the common people by passing over these messages. And MD, I feel that maybe as part of this collaboration, cultural institutions, religious institutions are key in getting people's mindsets changed. Otherwise, people can reach and refuse to take these innovative loans just because of really a wrong mindset. We have collaboration with the churches, the religious institutions. We have collaboration with academic institutions. Right now, we're collaborating with all the universities that are teaching courses of water, environment, and climate change.
The partnership is expected to make a significant impact by offering much-needed financial tools to Ugandans, ensuring sustainable access to clean water and hygiene services.
Has already been taken to Nairobi for benchmarking and exposure visit to enable us to replicate what has been learned during the forthcoming implementation phase. We therefore look forward to a productive collaboration and we thank all the players in this.
Experts hope that policy alignment with national development goals and Uganda's commitments to the UN Sustainable Development Goals will further enhance the impact of this initiative. Sandra Kahunde, Robert Katamba, News Tonight.
And that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. I'm Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
Super Soul Sisters ground-based inspiring story grand finale is here. With our theme of Vision for the Future, come and be part of this amazing yet inspiring pageant as we focus on the girls' life journey through storytelling to change people's lives. This December, Saturday the 14th, 2024 at Nakasero Primary School Amphitheatre from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in partnership with Plan International Uganda and UBC TV. Ordinary tickets are sold at 20,000 shillings, VIP table at 500,000 shillings,